It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM, and good morning to you. It's a time for a little conversation for an annual event that happens with the Indiana Players, their annual one-act, I don't know, Katrina, is it a festival?
That's what we call it, yeah.
It is. It's the one-act festival of plays for the Indiana Players, and it's happening this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, Katrina Kaden is with us, so is John Henry Steelman. Katrina, you're directing in two of them. John Henry, you're acting in two of them.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so let's get started here. This is going to be when? Thursday through
Sunday. So it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights at 7:30 and Sunday matinee at 2:30.
Okay. And there are how many plays this year?
There are 6, and we have a wide variety. We have comedies, we have dramas, we even have one horror. So,
oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, there you go. You're directing 2 of them.
Yes.
And what are they?
They are both comedies.
And,
yes.
and what specifically are they?
So one of them was actually written by Brett Johns, who used to live here in Indiana. Mm-hmm. He and his family now live overseas, but this is one way that he stays involved is by continuing to contribute through playwriting. It's called Agency, and it's about an individual who has had his car stolen, and he's dealing with the insurance agent and the various strange things that can happen with that. And the other one that I'm directing is the only one in the festival that's not locally written. It's called Hot Air. It features the 3 Macy's balloons in the Thanksgiving Day Parade who precede the coming of Santa Claus. And one of them is very upset because she has just found out that one of her balloon handlers is a person that they call Cell Phone Susie, because sometimes she goes one-handed because she's Instagramming and Facebooking while she's carrying the balloon.
That's a good concept. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah. John Henry, let's talk about you. You're acting in 2 plays.
Yes, I am.
Neither of which is directed by Katrina.
No, two different ones there.
Okay, so what do you have this weekend?
Well, one I'm in is called, let's see if I get it right, Considerations on the Nature of Violence and Vengeance.
There's a comedy.
And violence, I guess it is.
Violence and Vengeance.
Violence and Vengeance, whatever.
An obvious comedy.
Well, it's actually kind of a black comedy.
Is it really?
Is what it really is. Yeah, I mean, it's all the characters are kind of supposed to represent various philosophers, but considering an act of vengeance. And yeah, in that I play Fred, who's kind of a nihilist. His attitude is he's like just bored with the whole discussion because nothing really matters after all, you know. So yeah, that's the one that I'm doing, and then the other that I'm doing is called The Flying Tailor and Other Stories, which was written by Michael Schwartz, who's in the theater department here at IUP, and it is a very powerful monologue.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it's basically the guy is recording his suicide message.
Oh my!
And it really is extremely well written.
Is it a solo performance?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one point where there's one voice from off stage, but and that's just simply calling out my name.
Sounds like that material can really, really get you and grab you.
Yeah, and as I say, it is so well written that I find myself getting very moved by it. I'm interested to see how much the audience reacts the same way, because I'm just really impressed with the writing.
Talk about 2 different roles.
Yes.
Very different roles.
Yes, very, very different. Very different attitude in both of the two, which is what's great about the whole festival. I mean, as Katrina was saying, that there are just so many different styles and different moods of all the different plays. Yeah.
Now, for that second one, are there set pieces for you to act with, or is you're basically a stool and a microphone, or?
Well, a lot of it I'm projecting, and then there is a very stylized seating which is supposed to represent a car, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really look like a car.
Oh yeah.
But that's it's just stylized to represent that.
Wow. Okay, so those are 4 of the plays.
Yes.
2 by in which Katrina is involved, 2 in which John Henry is involved. What are the other 2?
So the other one, The other one is Spit, which is written and directed by Dave Cavell. It takes place at a high school reunion where someone who had a stutter as a young man comes back to face his high school bully, who was the head cheerleader and class president, but it turns out she hasn't had the greatest time since high school. So it's kind of a sentimental piece. There are some funny parts. There are some sad parts. It's a good mix. And then the horror one is The Woman in the Mask, which was written and directed by Nolan Knar. And it basically delves a little bit into witchcraft, where some teens are kind of trying to mess around with the occult, but they actually succeed in summoning something.
Oh yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting to me when we talk about this every year at about this time, in that you think of it as at Christmas time. Do you get one big present, or do you get a whole bunch of little presents? And this is like a whole bunch of little presents.
It really is.
Yeah, you get to unwrap them, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. It's just a great opportunity. It does several things. I mean, it helps to feature local artists. As I said earlier, 5 of the 6 are locally written. It helps for people who may want to dip their toe into theater but don't have the time to rehearse a full-length play. Most of these are 10 to 15 minutes long, so that doesn't require the rehearsal time. And it's neat to explore other kinds of, maybe kind of out there plays that you wouldn't necessarily see as a full-length play.
Yeah. So all of that is going to be happening this weekend, Thursday through Sunday.
Yes.
And folks want to go, they can get their tickets ahead of time, I would assume?
They can. They can call 724-464-0725. They can also order tickets online at indianaplayers.com or through our Facebook page.
Yeah. Now, you as a director, with these 2 that you're going to be directing, the approach as a director, I wouldn't guess it's a whole lot different from a full-length play, yet you have to pack a lot into a short time, don't you?
You do. It's kind of interesting. Whenever I direct a full-length play, usually you have, scenes that you can break down and things like that, and I kind of had to figure out whether I wanted to break a 7-page script apart or whether we just wanted to run it straight through. So there were some little nuances that were different.
Yeah.
And also sharing stage space with the other plays and trying to be respectful of the other director's time so that, you're not running over your allotted slot. It's a very cooperative endeavor, and we were very fortunate. Everybody just got along so well and has been helping each other out.
Yeah.
I want a quick throw into about Katrina. Yes, she's directing 2 of these, but she also coordinated the entire production.
Oh, yeah.
So she was the one, talking about having to share the stage. Katrina was the one who sorted out a schedule so that we could actually pull all these together. So we owe her a lot.
There's a lot of coordination, I would guess, that has to take place, and even on a minimal set, in order to get everything in the right place and get the people arranged in the way that they should be. John Henry, as an actor, you've got an ensemble cast for your first performance and more of a solo piece for your second. And just as Katrina has to get the audience's attention right from the start with such a short play, you have to do that too, and in 2 entirely different roles.
Yes, and obviously the monologue is the one where the pressure is on me to do that. The other one, it's a whole group talking at the beginning, so it's I don't feel as much pressure to really capture it from the beginning.
Got to trust the writer, though, for that second one, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it sounds like you do. You have complete trust.
I do.
In the writer.
I can't say enough how much I always enjoy doing the one-act festival, mostly just because I really like the people here and it's fun, and that sort of thing. I am just so thrilled that I got the chance to do this one, because it really is a very powerful piece.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and this gives us a chance to, again, celebrate what Indiana Players is all about, Katrina, because this really seems to be the essence of the group.
Yes, I mean, our job is to put the community in community theater, and we really do try to draw from the community, bring people together through different experiences, and we hope that some of these plays will resonate with the audience. We're always looking for volunteers, whether you want to be involved through directing or acting, whether you want to be behind the scenes, whether you want to, paint set pieces or make costumes. If you have a skill set, we can use it. We do have auditions coming up for our summer children's production, which is called Metaphasia, the 12 Dancing Princesses. And those auditions are June 3rd and 4th from 6 to 8. And then also there's a separate dancing audition if you want to be a dancing princess.
There you go.
On June 5th.
I've always wanted to do that.
So there is more information available through our Facebook page and through our website about that. But, along with the One Act Festival, I think our summer children's production is something that we're also very proud of because it helps get young people involved in theater early. And we hope that it's something that will stick with them for the rest of their lives. And in fact, it also helps get the parents involved. And I think, John Henry, wasn't that how you first became involved?
Oh, yes. My daughter was involved with the Players before I was.
Oh, yeah.
And indeed, yes, the very first show I did for the Players, what it was, I had no intention of auditioning. And the woman who had directed some of the workshops that my daughter had taken called me up and said, we're not getting enough men for this show, and there's someone here who says you can sing and dance, to which my response was, well, I can sing. And then she said, well, come on, if you can move around, just come on down. And so I went down and auditioned, and I got hooked.
Well, there you go. That's the way it's supposed to work, isn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so the show's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7:30?
And Thursday at 7:30.
I'm sorry, yeah, Thursday.
And Sunday at 2:30.
Sunday at 2:30. There
Yes.
you go. I'll get that straight. And ticket information again?
Is 724-464-0725, indianaplayers.com, or Facebook at Indiana Players.
Philadelphia Street Playhouse this weekend.
Yes, 725 Philadelphia Street.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
us.
it, and have a wonderful weekend there. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS AM 1160 and 101.1 FM.